They've been teasing it, they've been talking about it, but finally we get to look at the new Mephiston model, and I am not disappointed. So, for those of you guys who don't know as far as what's been going on in the Warhammer 40,000 universe, we know that we're going through these series of Psychic Awakenings. Now, the next one on the horizon is going to be focused on the Blood Angels and the Tyranids. Now, that is going to be coming out, like they said, pre-orderable on the 30th of November. But take a look. We get Big Daddy Mephiston, who has crossed the Rubicon, as they now say. He has crossed the Rubicon Primaris and is now a Primaris model. And honestly, of all of the Warhammer 40,000 Blood Angel special characters that are, I guess, are in mainstream wide use, Mephiston was up there as far as needing a brand new model. He had the old static crap pose of like the late 90s that at the time you're like, this is revolutionary. How could they ever do anything better than this? And then now when you look at it, you're like, who thought that that was a good idea? So we now have this amazing Primaris model for Mephiston, and holy crap, he's huge. He is huge. So Paul Murphy here from Forge the something, Paul? Forge the Narrative podcast, which I've actually never heard. Anyone ever heard that? Is it awesome? Is it good? Should I take a look? He takes a look at the model. Let me turn this down a little bit. Actually, I just realized the desktop audio is muted, so it's fine. So there's the model by comparison to a Death Company, the Sanguinor, and a Scout. He's massive. He is massive. I haven't seen the scale like comparison of some of the newer models that have come out that have been, that have crossed the Rubicon and become Primaris. But as far as like what, I guess the total area that he takes up, it's huge. Now, I guess the one downside to this though is that when you think of models that are big like this, even though they're awesome centerpieces, they make for really cool alternative models that you can then scrap together. Like if I was a Night Lord, I would be looking at that model and go, I have got so many opportunities to convert that character now. But a Night Lord player. But the one kind of bad thing is this huge cape, unfortunately, makes it easier to target Mephiston if you're playing in like a highly competitive kind of arena, because it makes it a little bit harder to put behind cover. So at the same time, though, I'm so stoked for this model. I personally have wanted to put Mephiston in my army, but I haven't because the model was just so lackluster, and wanting to go about converting it. A lot of the parts to convert him were on a Marine scale and not on a Primaris scale. So it was a little bit of a struggle because it's like so many of the newer characters have got that larger, more beautiful, more grandiose scale. So it's so awesome to see this. I mean, we can see that it's like a direct nod here to Mark Gibbons' artwork from the Angels of Death Codex. And what I like here is that we're starting to get a lot of nods back to some of just the old legacy, awesome artwork that really kind of filled the hobby throughout the previous editions. When you take a look at the 8th edition artwork, it's not bad, not at all. I'm not saying that, but there's a crispness there to it. There's a neatness to it that you obviously, I mean, look at this. You didn't get that with this level of artwork. It's very gothic. It's very that late 90s, early millennium style of high fantasy and sci-fi, where it's very grungy looking. The background's not completed all the way. Like, it's really, really awesome. I think Mark Gibbons also did the artwork for the Vampire Counts of, oh man, I think 6th edition, 5th edition, not sure. Someone can correct me in the comments below, but it's awesome to kind of see this. And what Paul was saying in this video, Paul Murphy, he was saying that you have two options of how you want to pose Mephiston. You can have him here with his plasma pistol pointed outright, or you can have him with this almost exact pose. So let me see if that's in this video. Oh yeah, there, you can barely see it right there. It's been a little spotty here, so I apologize about that, guys. Let me see if I can, I don't know if he does a close-up of it. I got too excited. Once it got to this point, I was like, time to record. Yeah, you can see that his hand is back up at his mouth, so it kind of mirrors that pose almost exactly. That is so cool. Oh, I didn't even know he painted it. See, like I said, I got too excited. I didn't even finish the video. But man, I'm so fired up to see Mephiston being redone here, crossing the Rubicon, as they say. And I'm excited to see what we get with the Psychic Awakening. It is going to be focused on Blood Angels and on Tyranids. I am a little worried that they're going to just take, rather than giving Blood Angels their own supplemental codex like every other Marine is getting, to just put them into the Psychic Awakening like they did for the Black Templars. I personally didn't really like that approach. I think it kind of cheats the grand lore of the Black Templars. And when you have a first founding chapter and or legion like the Blood Angels, if they don't give them a supplemental codex, I think that'll be a little weird. I think what they're trying to do is like, okay, Psychic Awakening, let's boost the sales on this by attaching a famous and well-known and well-liked chapter to it. Blood Angels, Black Templars, and I'm not stoked on that. So I hope that they actually do get their own individual codex, because all the codexes have so much information as far as modeling, painting, successor chapters that I think you really miss out on when it's not its own standalone book. So hopefully we'll see that on the 30th we'll be able to pre-order Mephiston and the Psychic Awakening Blood of Baal. But hopefully, again, we'll be able to also pre-order other Blood Angel stuff as well. I am kind of hoping that we do get either like a Primaris Death Company or a Primaris Sanguinary Guard. I would be really upset because I'm painting my Sanguinary Guard right now, so it's like, oh man, I'm not going to finish this. Now I've got Primaris versions of them that are coming out that are going to have awesome sculpts. But guys, I'm so stoked for on Mephiston. I'm really fired up to see what's coming on the 30th. And I think we also get a games day on the 30th for a bunch of other reveals. Hopefully Tyrion Sun Elves in the teaser of the... let me see here if I can go back here. The teaser for the Warhammer in the Old World, they got this little bit right here at the bottom. There are some huge, some might say giant plans for the Mortal Realms. Some more news soon. For now, we have to keep it hush hush. Well, haish haish, which is the Realm of Light, which is supposedly where Tyrion is, and Tyrion and his beloved Sun Elves, which you have yet to see in the Age of Sigmar narrative. But guys, as always, thank you so much for watching here today. Have a good one, and take care.